Go. Hello. Hi, everybody. We are live. I'm going to go try and find view on the watch page. Hi, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a second. Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay. Awesome.
Do you see it?
Yep, we're up. We are good. We are live.
I see it.
Awesome stuff. I'm just going to get my screen configured here, and then we will get the intro music going, and we will start the show. Thanks, everyone, for the people who made it out today. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. High tech time, guys. High tech. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who doesn't like coconuts anymore. Coming to you with a blow dart in my butt cheek, I am your host, Stevesquirrel, and co-hosting with me tonight and giving the ocean high fives is the ever so awesome AGeekyChick.
Hey, everyone.
So thank you to each and every one of you for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, and Kira. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can go and pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So if you're able to, and you want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. There are other ways you can be more involved with the show. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and now YouTube. We have a very active Facebook group, and it is a great way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. So for reference, the kingdom is always changing. So this show is being recorded Wednesday, April 24th at around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right, intros out of the way. Let's get into the show. AGeekyChick, what have you been doing this week in the kingdom?
Well, besides event stuff, I finally got enough to welcome Timothy the mouse. So I started that, and I've been rearranging my park. That's it. But there's a lot of event stuff. That's a lot, so.
Yeah, no, the event stuff will definitely take up most of the stuff, and we will get into that in a bit. For me, I'm still working on my Peter Pan storyline. Peter Pan takes a long time to collect for, and it definitely slowed down in the collection this week, because, as you know, we are all in the depths of the event right now, and I make the decision to kind of send some of the people that can collect out for the Peter Pan tokens. I've decided to send them out for event currency instead. Grumpy is one example. I'm sending him out for EC because he collects a lot. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So making those choices slowed it down, but I'm okay with that. You know, slow and steady wins the race on Peter Pan. I'm looking forward to getting him, but I'm also really, really enjoying the event too. Did a lot of leveling this week. You know, as the event began, we quickly, as a team and a community, worked together to get a guide up for who was safe to level, and which characters would be okay, which characters you definitely did not want to level. So that was great. People were able to start immediately, kind of getting some quick leveling in to avoid token conflicts. And then, shortly after the event began, the infamous Chinese hackers are at it once again, and they leaked out the rest of the event's characters for who would be needed and what the tokens would be and who would be collecting them. So they quickly got up a infographic of all the characters that were available and who could be leveled safely and who you could not level for the rest of the event because they would cause token conflicts. So as soon as we had that, it was available real quick. We got that up on our Twitter, got that up on our Facebook page and our Facebook group. Tweeted it out. AGeekyChick retweeted it. Everyone was making sure that everyone had this. So I've been leveling and safe leveling, and it's been great. So, I'm not going to get all into who I've been leveling. It's been back and forth. If you're interested in seeing who I'm leveling and you want to show off your awesome leveling accomplishments, join our Facebook group. There's an awesome thread that's actually like about 900 comments long now of people just posting their, achievements for who they're leveling and people congratulating them. So it's a cool place to be. So check it out. All right. And of course, my lifetime visitors board, I am down to rank 109,445. Whew, I'm getting there. I am getting close to the 100,000. So it is time to get there. I'm working on it. All right. Moving on into the newcomer tip of the week. So I wanted to just go back over and talk about Teal Avion's speculation post. We had mentioned it last week, so I highly recommended the newcomers take a look at that. And I just wanted to mention that if you followed the speculation post, most people started the event with about 400 event currency, which is huge. It's a really, really big head start. So while it's too late to do it now, make sure that you check out all of our social media, which is at ATK Podcast, and you can get this information from Teal. She's always pretty on target with this. So for every future upcoming event, I highly suggest it. It's a really, really great way to go. All right. So that's it for the newcomer tip of the week. We just didn't want to spend too much time on that. We just wanted to reiterate how important Teal's post was. Yeah. But now let's get into the game news. All right. Before we get into the event itself, let's just kind of talk about some of the other things that we have in the game. So there was a change that was introduced in the last patch, where you got multiple common and uncommon tokens from bronze and silver chests as a way to help offset the balancing changes that Disney Magic Kingdoms was making. In the new Moana patch, there was a small bug where the amount of tokens dropped in the bronze and silver chests reverted back to only getting one of the common tokens. So people had definitely noticed that. Disney Magic Kingdoms quickly fixed that. And if you were one of the people that were affected, you'll notice that any of the items that you should have gotten were gifted to you. So you opened up the thing and said, "Oh, we made an error. Sorry about that. Here is an extra token that you should have gotten from the chests." So awesome work, Disney Magic Kingdom, on getting that fixed super quick. Did you get any of those pop-ups?
Yeah, I did. I got a few, and then came back in the game and I got a few more. So I didn't even realize what was going on.
Yeah, they were probably going through, they had a script running or something, and there's millions and millions and millions of players, so it was just going through all the chests that were opened and rewarding all of those. So nice work. There was another small bug you might be experiencing that happened to me yesterday. The Radiant chests that are available, which we'll talk about later, that you could purchase one a day for 25 tokens, they magically disappeared after purchase yesterday. And so people were like, what's going on? They should be available for about another 2 weeks. Well, they did come back today. So I don't know what happened with that. But if you were missing your chest, or if it kind of disappears on you again, it's probably just a small graphical bug. You'll probably be available the next day. So I wouldn't get too upset. If it doesn't come available after a day or two, then definitely open a ticket. But I think it was just a little graphical bug.
Yeah, I got that. But I closed it and I was like, what's going on? But then when I came back, it was there. So
okay, great. Cool. Have you opened any of your chests yet?
Every day.
Every day. All right.
Every day.
Well, we will talk about the contents of those chests in a little bit. I've been opening them every day. And the Radiant chest gods are not on my side right now, but we'll get into that. All right, so Easter is still here, but I'm sure it will be going away very soon. It says limited time content. There's no timer on it like a lot of the events that are out there. So if you want to take advantage and get the Easter bunny ears hat stand, it is available in the shop for 60 gems for that. There's also a 40 gems and the bunny ears stand bundle that you can get for $1.99 US dollars. So, if you want to get it and you're hesitating, get it now because it's going to go poof for another year. Same thing with the Easter outfits. They're 60 gems each, which I think is a bargain. And you can get them for Minnie, Mickey, Pluto, and Goofy. And they are going to be gone soon. So make sure you get them if you're thinking about it. Now is the time to do it. Okay, well, I think it's time to find the way. Make way, make way. Yes, it's time for the Moana event. It has started. It was just getting ready to start when I spoke with Daniel in the last show. We were talking all about what we were expecting. So, why don't you, AGeekyChick, you want to tell us how the event started and what you did and what you got?
I got, who was the first character? It was the gym character, Gramma Tala.
Gramma Tala, yep.
So I welcomed her, and then we started working on Sina. She wasn't that difficult. I got her that same day. And then what happened after that?
Well,
They were.
Okay, well, let's just pause for 1 second. So, at the beginning of the event, Gramma Tala and the grilled pineapple stand were available in a bundle. So the bundle was $3.99 US dollars, or you could get Gramma Tala for 200 gems and the grilled pineapple stand for 60 gems. So
What'd you do?
So I did the gems. This time. I have a nice little stockpile, so I did the gems this time. But I know you did the bundle. Is that right?
Yeah, I did that bundle, the Gramma Tala and the pineapple stand. I did that one. Yeah.
Okay, yes. So then there was another bundle available, the Moana float and the shell hat stand were available for $1.99 US dollars, and or you could get the Moana float for 50 gems and the shell hat stand for 60 gems. So what did you do there?
I bought them individually with gems.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of missed the currency that usually would come with the parade bundle. And so, since there was no currency there, I just went ahead and bought them separate.
Yeah, I bought them separate too. So, what do you think of the stands? Let's talk about that for a second. What do you think? Where did you put them? Have you seen any of your kids in the park with them?
Yes, the shell hat stand. Like, I don't know, that's their favorite one. I always see them with the shell hat stand. It's so cute. I like the way the stands look. I think just they're so cute and they're different. You know how all the other ones are kind of still like similar, like kind of build. I like this one that it's like something totally different than just the regular stand. So I was excited about that. And yeah, the shell hat stand. I think I've seen a couple of kids with pineapple, but I don't know. My kids, they always I have my Pooh Bear stands at the front. And so everyone always has like Honey and like Pooh Bear Eeyore hats on. So it was nice to see that they are getting the shell hat.
Yeah, I immediately moved them right to the front of the park because I wanted to see the kids getting them. I did see one kid that had a shell hat and some pineapple. Talk about greedy. But no, they're really cute. I really love the shell hat stand, and I love the way that the concession stands look. I think the artwork for them is really awesome, and they did a great job with that.
It's funny, we're talking, and then like a kid walks up to my show stand like right now and buys the hat. Like they love it. It's so cute.
So also the other thing I noticed is that a featured stand for this event is the Lay of Flowers stand. And that was originally introduced with the Lilo and Stitch event. So I guess they figured that it was just kind of fitting for the theme of this event. So they made it available as well. So did you put out any of those? Do you already have them out?
I already had it, but I kind of just put it out I don't think I had them out, like any of the Lilo and Stitch, but I went and put all that stuff out.
Yeah, I had quite a few because the Lilo and Stitch chests, like all chests, didn't favor me very well when I was opening the legendary chests. So I had quite a few of them. So I kind of decorated them, with, sprinkled them, I should say, throughout the park. So I've seen a couple of kids with those as well. But it's nice to have that as available as a featured stand as well. Better than every it seems like every event there's like the popcorn stand or
Yeah.
something like that, so, or the cotton candy stand. So it was nice to have something different and event themed this time. So I think that was a really nice change. So all right, so yes, the first character was Sina. So you said that you got her pretty quickly.
Yeah, that same day. It was a quick welcome.
Yeah, I
She didn't need a lot of tokens.
No, she didn't need a lot of tokens, but she's the first character. Usually they don't
Okay.
make you, work too hard for the first character. Same thing I felt like with Eudora. They didn't, Eudora was a pretty easy to get, and I think Sina was as well. So
Yeah.
you welcomed Sina, and then you then had to go and defeat a Kakamura. The Kakamura decided to attack the kingdom, and Sina was in charge, and Gramma Tala were in charge of beating the Kakamura. So there were they're uncommon tokens. So in theme of the battle bots and the battle bees, we will call these the battle Kakamura, because that's just what we like to do here at Around the Kingdom. So you had to defeat one battle Kakamura, and like I said, the tokens were uncommon, and they were blow darts that kind of look like spyglasses, or like those big spy scopes or periscopes or whatever you want to call them, and bowls.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you had the bowls, and then the bowls are much harder to drop. There's only a few people that you can collect them with right now, but I feel like blow darts were just flying everywhere. Like they were just, it was very, very easy to collect. They were 2-hour collect times. The bowls were, I think, 4, and actually I think they were 2 and 4, but it just seems like the blow darts were just so much more abundant. Did you have a
Yeah.
hard time with those tokens?
It was just like you said, the bowls. It was just the quests are longer, and there's not a lot of people to collect them, so it was a little bit slower than the blow darts, but it wasn't that bad. At least not that first round.
Yeah. No, the first round wasn't bad at all. I thought it was, okay. So, we
Yeah.
defeated the Kakamura. So that was the day one. So then, once that was done, day two, welcome Chief Tui was available. And when you welcome Chief Tui, you needed 10 of his staff, 10 of his ears, and 40 flowers. So it was quite a hefty task. It was a little bit harder than I was expecting. What did you think? Did you have an easy time collecting his stuff? Did it take you a long time?
I think it took me average the second day, I believe it was, that I welcomed him, like maybe towards the end of the day. Like the flowers are easy though, because they're just you could get the shells. So even though it was 40, I said a lot, and then it was just I'm naturally tapping those along with whatever else I have to tap. I think this is around the same time we also had the seed, the little mini thing. So just logging in and tapping. So that came easy, but. No, they weren't. It wasn't too difficult, but it wasn't. I don't think I wasn't getting like drops every single time either, though.
Right, I agree. I believe that the rarity was uncommon for the staffs and rare for the ears, I believe. I could be wrong because I'm usually wrong. But but yeah, I found actually the staffs were just not dropping for me. I think Woody hated me. I think that I just had a tough time. It took me longer to welcome him than I think most of the people that I was, in the community. Like I saw everyone welcome him, and
Yeah.
we were all congratulating people, and I'm like, I am still 5 staff short. So yeah, I think it took me longer. But I eventually welcomed him. It wasn't too terrible, and he came to the kingdom. Now, one other thing to mention, as soon as the first staff was collected, as soon as you collected your first staff, the Snow White helper quests unlocked. And Snow White and, actually it was Doc, had a very fun storyline with the different Snow White characters. Don't want to spoil the storyline because I think it was really fun. Did you play all the way through it? Did you play it all the way through it yet?
Yeah, but I didn't read it. I'm like, spoil it, I didn't read it.
No
after
way.
the show.
Yeah, we'll talk after the show.
But yeah, I went through it all.
It's another reason why I wish you could go back. This has been a feature report of mine 50 times, but I wish you could go back and, if you skipped dialogue, reread it. Even for the event right now, like I wish I could just read all the dialogue of the event so far, just to kind of like refresh myself, because it's multiple days in between dialogues. So, but anyway, so yes, the Snow White helper quests unlock at that point. They're a lot of fun, and you get a lot of EC as bonus. So once you welcome Chief Tui, you then, I believe, just had to get him to level 2. And then you were able to build the Homecoming Celebration, which is the attraction, which is the stage, which we talked about last week with Daniel about. It was in Disney Hong Kong, I believe. Right, Daniel? I know you're in the chat right now. And so it's basically a stage that has like an ongoing, like a rotating thing in the background. So it's pretty cool. So you build the stage. It was a 6-hour time to build, so it wasn't bad at all. Once that was done, then you had to collect tapestries. So there was some conversation about needing to collect the tapestries to talk about the different types of monsters that were out there. And so you had to collect tapestries. Was it 20?
Yeah.
20 tapestries. So, yeah, you got to go out there, collect 20 tapestries. Seems that some people in the chat are saying that Nicholas is saying he has 15 already. Speedy Ultra is already done. Cool. Awesome. So once you finish the tapestries, then you'll have to battle 8 more of the Battle Kakamura. So there's lots of collecting to be done there. Again, I found that so I guess let's just stop for a second. What about the Homecoming Celebration and the tapestries? What did you think about all that stuff? I don't want to go too far without having you chime in here.
Yeah, the Homecoming Celebration, that was fine. It was if I hadn't been, that's why, like you said, the groups and all of these things are really good, because if you didn't know any better, after you built the celebration and everything, there's like no dialogue and it's just collecting the tapestries, and you kind of don't realize that that's what you need to do to keep moving. But other people had progressed, and between like the leaks, you realize that you do need to collect all those tapestries to get yourself to the Welcome Pua, because otherwise you're just like, oh, usually after you build something, you're used to another quest popping up, something like giving you direction. But so I was glad that I had that information, and so I collected the tapestries. It was kind of like the same with Chief Tui as far as the drop rate. They dropped enough, but it wasn't every single time I got a drop. But my happiness also isn't ecstatic, so that can be playing a role in it also.
Yeah. So I agree. I was a little surprised after I built the Homecoming Celebration. Like I was like, okay, now my top quest is the crabs. What's going on here? It doesn't. That will never go away. We always our biggest advice we always give to everyone is do the top quest.
Yeah.
That's not going anywhere until the event's over. And then I was like, well, the tapestries are still blue, so I made the decision to do the tapestries, and eventually when I collected them, it moved on. So you do need all the tapestries to move on. If you were kind of stuck there, make sure you collect them. But again, slow collection speeds. It's like 6 hours for Chief Tui, 4 hours for Gramma Tala. Sina, I think, was 4. Also, so it was slow collection times. So it took a while. And on a side note, a little tangent here. You're not excited anymore. have you noticed, and this was brought up in our group, that it seems like happiness is dropping a lot faster?
Yeah, I know that I haven't been normally by now this far into the event, even if happiness dropped, I'm usually back to ecstatic. And I'm not. I'm kind of just like fighting to stay where I'm at, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dropped a lot. I had to bust into some gold chests. Like I try to leave them down
Mm-hmm.
there. So I had two gold chests and two platinum chests sitting down there. So I had to start using them, just to get the happiness out of them. I'm still working toward that Bambi float, which I will never get, but you know. I just needed to use them to get happiness. I had to click
Yeah.
on a couple of my things. I'm really trying to save them all for the next happiness event. I have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
tons and tons and tons and tons of the ride guys. So I know that I can really do well in the happiness event. I really would like to get the trophy. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for that. But yeah, I've noticed it's been dropping a lot faster. So
But the trophy's usually tied to the gold trophy event,
but they usually have it for it's my event. My recollection, they usually have it twice, right?
but not with the happiness.
Not with the happiness.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, at least
I
I
would
at
never
least
get a trophy if it
at
was
least
tied
I'll
to
get some more
happiness.
radiant chests that just drop nothing but tokens for me. So more tokens, yay! But all right, and then the homecoming celebration does drop Chief Tui ears, which is a nice bonus to having
Mm-hmm.
that as well. So the next thing that we were talking about is the Battle Kakamura. So you had to just defeat 8 of them this time. So it did take me quite a while to collect and get ready and battle them. It took me quite a long time. And one thing that I want to mention about that is that Teal, our favorite speculation poster, posted some great content in the Facebook groups about how when you get to that last one, when you're fighting the last Kakamura, don't click the checkbox to finish the quest and move on, because at that point you can still technically collect more tokens. This way you would have been more well prepared, because there might be some more Battle Kakamura in your future. Spoiler alert. So that was a good suggestion. So if you are still battling the Kakamura, try to do that. I highly suggest that. Don't worry about collecting spears right now, which is going to be the next thing that you need to do, because that's something that you can do for the rest of the event. And it's going to get significantly easier later. So my suggestion is to follow that. The post is in our Facebook group if you want to find out more about that. But you can definitely get a head start on the Kakamura. So how are you doing? Where are you at now with
I'm
this?
collecting for the. I think I've defeated. I can check. I've defeated 2. So I still, but I have it the whole day tomorrow, so I don't feel like I'm falling behind.
Nope.
And then because of the radiant chest, I have 3 spears, so that kind of, so I won't. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
still like I have something going into the next stage, so I don't feel like panicked, I guess I should say, at least not yet. But hopefully the Kakamura, it's the same thing like we said. The bowls are taking a while. Like I have enough of the like you said, what are they? The
They're
darts,
they're
blow
blow
darts.
dart guns, right?
Okay, I have like enough blow darts, but it's the bowls that are taking a while. So I'm just like, okay, trying to get those so then I can go collect one. You know, because you need 2, and there's only like 3
Right.
people who can go collect them. So
What are the significance of the bowl? Like what like when you need to battle the stuff, usually it's like stuff that's significant to the Kakamura, to whatever you're
yeah.
battling. So does anyone out there in YouTube chat know what is going on with why you need these? Let us know. Okay, but all right. So after you beat the Kakamura, and yes, you have all day tomorrow. So you definitely have plenty of time to be caught up and on pace.
Yeah.
Once you defeat them, two things unlock at that point. You can start collecting spears, which is Moana's second token to collect for. The Tapestries were her first token. And you can start collecting those. As we mentioned, those are going to be available to collect through the entire event. Don't stress that you're not going to be able to complete it before Pua unlocks, because you will not be able to complete it before Pua unlocks unless you go crazy spending gems, and you have much better things to do with your gems. The other thing that unlocks is a quest. The quest is between Sina and Tui, and they will have to go on a 6-hour quest. They both need to be at least level 4. So if you have not gotten them to level 4 yet, you're going to need to in order for you to do that quest. And once that quest is done, then Welcome Pua is available. So that is where we're at right now. So that's where we're at. So tell me what you think of the event so far, and just give me your thoughts.
So far, I'm okay. And there's no panic yet. I was kind of shocked. The Snow White helper quest seemed to kind of just go through really quick. I don't know if we're gonna get more quests or if that was like I guess I didn't even read it, so I don't know if that's just the end. But I kind of just went through those really quick. You did need a lot of the dwarves, or did you? I think you needed all of them in order to finish that. I don't think we talked about that yet. I think one of the last couple of quests you needed like all of them.
You needed 4. Actually, more than that, I think. But yeah, you needed quite
like
a lot,
double.
including Snow White. There were a lot of dwarves needed.
And I was kind of shocked to see that you needed like all of them, for just the side quests. But it's side quests. I don't want anybody to panic. It's side quests.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessary, but it's good for currency. So I like doing those. I don't like these events. This is probably like always kind of pushed in the middle of these, during the different stages. I always feel like they're purposely slow you down, like and a lot of these like long quests, like for the bowls, and we're talking about how long it's going to be for the spears. So I feel like there's a lot of tasks that are just stuck there to slow you down. Right. And like if you're on task and you're doing great, that's fine. But as the event goes on, like those can really hold you up, and those are the kind of things that can kind of keep you from being able to finish. And so I'm a little worried that we're seeing so many things so soon to slow us down, and I'm hoping that it doesn't cause problems later on.
Sure, no, I agree. One of the things that's pretty common when you talk about people that are experienced, and not newer players, but one of the bigger complaints from the more experienced players is that there's large time gaps between chapters. So they'll welcome Chief Tui, they'll fly through everything, and then there'll be like 3 days left before the next unlock, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of, in that sense, giving them something to do, and kind of making that not feel so bad in between events. It keeps you engaged and occupied, but it definitely will slow newer players down, where newer players had a very good shot of trying to get through the whole event if they bought the premium characters. It does slow them down quite a bit. So hopefully the newer players still have a good experience and can still do that, but it's very interesting. I'm enjoying the event so far. I mean, I've been asking for Moana forever, so I'm happy to have these 3 characters in there so far. And the only thing that I would say is that I'm not a fan of the battle whatevers. And so having 3 rounds of them, I mean, even though the first round was only 1, but having 3 rounds of them can be frustrating. So they're not my favorite part of this event by any means. We can say that.
I agree.
But okay, so let's talk about other things that are going on in the event. Oh, well, let's talk about what's to come. So Pua is available in 1 day, 12 hours from when we're recording. So that's going to be Friday at server reset time, we'll call it, or new day. We need to, again, we're going to have a contest for what we need to call that time when all that stuff happens, okay? But at new day on Friday, Pua will be available. But Pua is the only thing that will be available for a week, okay? So whatever happens after Pua, there'll be a whole week of time between then before Hey Hey and Maui unlock. So I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of stuff to do, including spears to collect. I'm just hoping that there's enough storyline to keep us occupied for a week. I'm sure there will be, but there's going to be a full week between that unlock, which is going to be rough for me because I will be in Disney. The day I leave for Disney, the day after Maui and Hey Hey unlock. So I will be having to check my phone in the bathroom where my wife can't see me because she'll be like, "What are you doing in Disney World on your phone?"
It's really fun though.
But no. So that is my my thing going on there. So that's what's to come. So hopefully everyone's having a good time and going on. But let's talk about not having a good time for a brief moment. Let's talk about the Radiant Chests. So the Radiant Chests are available again in the format that was introduced in the last event, which is 1 a day. For 25 gems each, you can purchase a Radiant Chest. The Radiant Chests have event currency. They have the tokens for the event characters. Now, not just tokens for the event characters you're working on, but they also have tokens for the event characters in the future. For example, I got, and I know AGeekyChick got some spears. So we already had a bunch of spears ahead of time. What else did you get, AGeekyChick?
I have one rope. That's her Moana's third token. I've gotten some of Moana's ears. I can't even check how many of those I got because no one needs those yet. I've gotten 2 benches, or is it, no, 1 bench, and I think 2 of the little tapestry banner things, yeah. Lots of tokens. And sometimes I've had one where it was all currency. I guess I'm not complaining. I'm actually complaining. I really want the hook stand.
Yes. So I got quite a few chests between the free one and the one that I got from the event for tapping the carrots, the walking carrots, and I did get the palm tree bench, which I liked. I think I have 2 banners, so I have those decorations, which is the only 2 in the collectible ones, with not including the gold trophy. But I got a gold chest that was happiness, event currency, flower tokens, and then my big thing was flower tokens. That's what I spent 25 gems on. And then I got another one that was this basically the same thing. It is so frustrating to me that that the main concession for events now is in these chests. If you want a concession stand from an event, I could see it being challenging. I could see it, but spending hundreds, I spent 300 gems trying to get the green cream soda stand, and I did not get it. And I think that that's wrong. If you spend 300 gems, you should be able to get it. I was talking to someone. I had mentioned in Hearthstone, the game I always compare this to. When you buy packs, they have something called a pity timer. So when they have legendary cards in this game, right? So think about it like legendary or epic items in this game. So each time that you open up a pack, if you don't get a legendary item, your odds get a little bit better to get one. And then eventually at 40 packs, you're guaranteed the legendary item, right? Typically, the average is about 20 packs that you get one. So I think that should be implemented in this game for an event. I think that, with Radiant Chests, you have normal odds at first, and then each time that you open a chest and you don't get the epic stand, you should have a slightly better chance of getting it. Because, nothing feels worse than going through the whole event, spending 25 gems every single day that you've saved up and you worked on and tried to get by leveling and doing whatever, and then getting nothing out of it. You're getting little advantages with EC and tokens and decorations, but everyone's going in there to get the hook stand, And so it's very frustrating to me that the way that they're doing this now.
Yeah, and there's no way to make your odds better. Like before chess changed, remember if you were maxed out on a token, you wouldn't get any more. But I have 7 out of 5 or something of say the ear tokens for Sina or something. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna keep giving me this because obviously I'm not gonna have her to level 10.
Yep.
You almost feel like you're getting punished every day, even though, like you said, there should be a reward. Although I was happy I got the last tapestry I needed from there for Moana, so that cut down on some time. But I think we talked about this last event, and it was like, okay, take the concession stand out of there, and then I'd be okay. You know what I mean? I know exactly. My hopes aren't up, so then maybe the prize is to get those extra character tokens and the decorations, or even the decorations. I feel like that's kind of like a high price to pay. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. I think my honest opinion is they should take the decorations and the stands out of those chests. You want to get EC, great. You want to get tokens for characters to help speed stuff up, great. Put incentives for speeding up the event, in these chests. But take the decorations and take the stands out, and let people be able to get those so that you can complete an event without that you can complete an event. And that's just and the real kicker is that last event when you had the bundle at the end, it wasn't even a guarantee that you would get the stand. So if you want to make a change to that and you want to keep it the way it is, make the stand a guarantee, the epic a guarantee.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But it just seems like even with because I didn't get any of the concessions from the Tower Challenge, the Dumbo and stuff, they've just made them all around more difficult to get.
Yep. Not a fan. But anyway, I'm going to end my rant. I stay positive on this, this podcast as much as I can, and I do love this event. I just am frustrated with the way that they're doing these Radiant chests now. I'd love to hear from you, though. What do you all think out there? Do you think that the new Radiant chests are awesome and you love the way that they are? Do you disagree? Do you agree with me that they're frustrating and they should change it? We want to hear from you. Write to us at ATK Podcast on Twitter, Facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Go in our Facebook group. Let us know what you think. Write the show in. Around the Kingdom Podcast at gmail.com. We want to hear from you. I want to know what you think. I will actually put a post out there. I'm going to put a post out there tomorrow on our Facebook page, getting your opinions. I want to hear from you. Let's talk. This is a community show. Let's hear. But all right, moving on. So the only other thing is, as we mentioned, the Snow White characters are helpers. Not too many of them collect EC. There's only a handful that do. But I will say Grumpy is a beast. Grumpy collects 78 EC for 4 hours. That is more than double, right? It's usually 30 EC for 4 hours, right? Yes. So he's a beast. That's what I have to say.
Yay for Grumpy.
Yay, Grumpy.
Nobody says yay for Grumpy.
That's what I think they wanted people to say. Okay, getting on into the event of the week. The event of the week was Wandering Seeds. This is the third time that Wandering Seeds has come out. This Wandering Seeds started on April 20th and ended today on the 24th. This was a 4-day long event. Do they usually do events for 4 days? I feel like it's usually 2.
It was long. I don't think they're always this long.
Yeah, it felt very long. I feel like they're usually 2 days long, and this one's like a timed tapper, and I just couldn't keep up.
No.
You know, with me needing sleep, I couldn't keep up with this event. Anyway, this event is a special event that only occurs on or around Earth Day, and it has for the past 3 years. The first event that they had this 3 years ago, the reward was for collecting 200 seeds. So it was like one of those where you have rewards along the way, and if you collected 200 during the event, then you got the Earth Day stand as part of this event. So that's a little cool little tidbit. Anyway, the wandering seeds were spawned in groups of 10 every 4 hours. There was a total of 240 seeds. Ranks 1 through 5 got 750 EC and 2 radiant chests. Ranks 6 through 50 got 650 and a radiant chest. Then all the way down to rank 600 got a radiant chest and some EC. And then below that just got EC. So what did you think about Wandering Seeds 3?
They're so hard. When they're tiny like that, it's so difficult. Especially the way our parks, most people's parks are cramped. Like I have space because I'm rearranging it. So that made it a little bit easier to see, but they're quick and they get under the buildings. And so that made it difficult. It's good when you know that there's, 10. So you know how many that you have to keep looking for. So there was that. But I did pretty well. They usually are clumped up together. So that helped. I think I started a little too early, but I was like between the 150 and 350.
Oh, okay.
And I got a radiant chest and some event currency. So I didn't do too bad. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night. Like I said, it was just when I logged in. I didn't, go crazy. Because when I realized that you had to be in the top 5 to get more radiant chests, I was like, nah, I'll just take whatever EC I get.
Yeah, I completely agree. The first night, I woke up, I would say, like, I usually timed it so like at 10 o'clock at night, I would collect the dudes, and then like I'd say to myself, okay, if I wake up anytime in the middle of the night after 2 o'clock, I'll try. So I did that the first night, and then like the next day, I realized the event wasn't ending the next day. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, and I was already like 10 behind everyone else. And I was like, this is not happening. It's just not happening. There's no way I'm placing top 5. If I could battle for top 50, like I would have maybe put a little bit more effort into it. But for a 4-day event, it was too much for me.
Especially when you said like, grumpy, like we have some good people. So the extra 100, 200 you would get.
Yeah. So and they look like little tiny carrots running around. That's what me and my daughter kept calling them. We're baby carrots. So we tapped the baby carrots, and that was it. So, I don't know. Okay event. They're little. I prefer the Huffalump balloons. Much easier to spot.
They're like huge.
Okay, moving on into the next segment. It's the Disney Dad Joke of the Week. All right, I know you've all been waiting for this. This is a special one to me because I tell this joke in other forms about other things, and I just love it so much. So here we go. All right. How much did it cost Captain Jack Sparrow to get his ears pierced?
How much?
A buccaneer. You're welcome.
Yay!
All right.
That was good. I chuckled when I read it on the notes.
Let's move on into the next segment. Is it worth it? Is It Worth It is a segment where we talk about premium characters and attractions and costumes. That's right, we're throwing in costumes. I decided that we, in regard to last week, Daniel and I had a discussion about Mickey's tuxedo costume, and I thought that I would bring it up here. Lots of reactions to my dad joke. Sorry. And I thought I'd bring it up here because I think it's a good question. So Mickey's tuxedo costume, 120 gems. It is available pretty much from the beginning of the game. I think that once the costume shop opens for you, it's available. Mickey Mouse Tuxedo is a premium costume that was, for Mickey Mouse, released with the Beauty and the Beast Chip and Dale update, which was the 8th of March 2017, so it's over 2 years ago. It is unlocked when Mickey Mouse is at level 2. Yes, so it is basically available from the beginning of the game. So Mickey's, it has one activity that it gives Mickey to do called musical performance. And musical performance produces white and blue fabric, which is legendary. It's a legendary drop. And it gets you fabric for Donald Duck's Halloween costume. It also, at one point, dropped red striped fabric, which is uncommon for Minnie Mouse's Halloween costume. I'm sorry. It does drop red striped fabric, which is uncommon for Minnie Mouse's Halloween costume as well. So it's a great addition to help you getting those two costumes. At one point, these fabrics were also used to craft Goofy and Minnie's Easter costumes, but that was just for a limited time during the initial Easter event. Now they're only available, as you can see, it's Easter time now. As we talk about this, you can buy them with gems, you cannot craft them. So, but still, when you think about it, you're spending 120 gems, you're getting Mickey's tuxedo costume, and then you're basically getting Donald Duck's Halloween costume and Minnie's Halloween costume as part of it, as long as you just keep doing the activity over and over. So, what do you think, AGeekyChick? Is it worth it?
If you like having the costumes, yes. I have them. If like that's your thing, getting the costumes, then yeah. But so far, the costumes haven't been like essential to the game. Besides, no.
Well, the two Halloween costumes were huge in the Halloween Tower Challenge when the
Yeah,
trick or treat was the Coco activity for everybody.
yeah.
I was surprised that since it's Easter time, there was not some sort of incentive for you to purchase those costumes by having some sort of event that was Easter related that would warrant you to buy them. Their activities that you get are cute, and they do some cool things. But yeah. So, but no, I think that when I first started the game and it was unlocked at level 2, when I was looking in the costume shop, 120 gems seemed pretty daunting to me, because I was just starting out the game. As I progress and gems are coming a little bit easier, I would say that if you have the gems and you like costumes, yes, I would say it's worth it. I feel like it's a 3-for-1 kind of deal. I think so that makes it a really good value. You're paying 40 gems per costume when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
And like I said, the tuxedo costume, gets you those fabrics, but the Halloween costumes also have been very beneficial. I think that if you're early on in the game, if you're a new listener, someone new to the game, I think that other things in the game are more valuable at the beginning of the game. I think that trying to get some premium characters, like if you haven't gotten Pluto yet, or Rex, those would be things that I think I would prioritize over Mickey's tuxedo costume. But it's not a bad thing to get later on. So I will say yes, it is worth it. But I would also say it is worth it a little bit later on in the game, not at the beginning. Do you agree? You think that's a good assessment?
Yeah, I agree. It's cute though. It's real cute.
It is cute. All right. Whew, that was a lot of talking for me. All right. Ready for the next segment? Here we go. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report. Feature Report is a segment where we talk about ideas or features we would like to see implemented into the game. So there are quite a few good ones this week. Actually, everyone's has been good, but I really like these. This one is from Roblox Adventures, who commented on, was a YouTube comment. And he said, I'd like to see an undo button for when you accidentally send a character on a quest. Geeky, tell me what you think.
That would be good. But so what are you thinking? Like a certain timer, or just throughout the whole time you could just undo it with, you know. But either way, I would like to. Sometimes it's like, oh no, that 24 hours.
Well, what do you think would be a good way to implement it?
Maybe like immediately. Because I mean, I would hate to accidentally hit the undo like over halfway through, and
Right.
now I'm not going to get my rewards. So maybe something like after you did it, you know, the first minute, you know, you can have just like how after, you know, 30 seconds you get the free when you only have 30 seconds left on a task.
Right.
Maybe the first 30 seconds that you start a task, you can hit undo.
Yeah.
Because that would suck to undo something and, you know, by mistake, and you were about to get the reward for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the idea of an undo button. I think that implementing it correctly is something that you that's going to be hard. So, Roblox Adventures, I'd like to hear how you would implement it. Let's go a little bit deeper on your feature report and tell me how you would implement it. I think that it's a great idea, though. I think maybe clicking on the character and then like having a little undo button at the top for the first 30 seconds is a great idea. Obviously, you wouldn't collect any reward for that. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've sent someone out on like a 12-hour or an 8-hour, or I knew I needed someone for a quest. Like I sent Sina out on the 12-hour spear quest, and then as soon as I clicked it, I was like, oh man, I need her for the regular quest. And so, you know, I wish I could have undone that, but I think it's a great idea. All right. The next one is from Kathy. Kathy is our resident Let's Filter Things expert. She likes to suggest different ways to filter things, which are great. So in this filter, or suggestion, she says, when in Merlin's casting cauldron, I wish that you could filter on concessions versus decorations. Geeky, tell me. What do you think?
I don't spend a lot of time in Merlin's cauldron to be like, I feel like I need a change there. You know, I mean, it's just a long time going through everything anyway, trying to decide what you need and what you don't need. But I don't do it that often.
You don't go to the casting cauldron that often?
Maybe only when I know I have, like when I know I've opened a chest, duplicate, and I'm trying to see if I have enough to buy that next thing. But other than that, no.
How much?
We're talking about where you put the stuff in there for the elixir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hardly ever go there.
Do you have most of the elixir stuff?
There's like two of those 30,000 attractions that I need, like Toy Story Mania, and then there's another one.
Okay. Yeah, no, I go in there quite often. You know, someone told me, I forgot who gave me that advice, but basically they told me like, when you put a lot of stuff into the cauldron at once, the number of magic you spend on it like gives you like sticker shock, you know, which definitely happened to me. So she recommended like just periodically going in there, and like you don't really notice it when you're just dropping like 10,000 magic or 15,000 magic at a time. But no, so that's for me. I think that would be a great filter because, you know, it starts at the top. But most of the stuff that you want to just throw in there when you're visiting is at the bottom, right? You know, you're throwing your benches in. So, and concession stands too. Like I'm someone who I've never sent a concession stand to Merlin. Not one stand has ever been sent to Merlin yet. So I would love to just be able to click a button and all the concession stands be filtered out. And then I know it's only decorations. And I could just go through and make sure one of everything. I'm done. Speaking of which, Lee commented on Kathy's post and said he wishes that you could also filter out things by things that you only had one of. So if you only have one of something, get it out of there, because a lot of people like to make sure that they have at least one of an item. I am one of those people. I always want to make sure that I have one of every item. I don't want to accidentally dust or blow up my last one. So if I could, if I only have one left of things and you could hide them, that would be a great feature too. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah. How many of what's your opinion on saving things and not?
Oh yeah, I keep one of everything, but for some things, because like I've been going through this kind of decorate my park, not so much focus on just fitting everything. So I usually like to keep like benches. Like I keep a lot of benches, actually, probably more than most people, because especially like the wooden ones, because you can put those in different areas because they kind of just match like areas, especially when they stopped giving like a decorated bench with every set, So I'll keep some of those. I like to keep 2 or 3 of the lampposts if we get a lamppost. But definitely one of everything, but some of the ones, like the lampposts and benches, I keep a few. So for like Halloween, I can put out, multiple Halloween benches.
Yeah, no, I agree. There are some benches and things I keep multiple of, and some lampposts too. But for the most part, I keep one of everything. Things that I don't really care for how they look,
Yeah.
So, or things that my daughter can't hide all over the kingdom, like those little star mappers, those little tiny things. I had about like 50 of them, right, that I was getting ready to dust into Elixir, and my daughter got a hold of the game and she just clicked on it, and then she just clipped, like you can just keep clicking on it and it will just keep finding spots that they can stick them. And she went through my whole park, and there were hidden star mappers throughout the whole thing. It was like geocaching star mappers, just trying to like find them all. This was before the remove all decorations feature. But okay, finally, the last feature from Craig. He says, I wish there was something to commemorate when you got the last token of any group. I mean, the last token for the last character in any given group to level 10. We collect thousands of common and other tokens that maybe it's worth a moment to commemorate. Like maybe Merlin could give us a high five. I love this idea. I think that it's a great feeling to complete the set, like a set, and then get your 16 gems for completing it. But I think that it's a whole different achievement when you've maxed out every character in a storyline, right? Like it's hard, you especially with the balanced ones where you're collecting hundreds and hundreds of tokens for, each character, and that's just the regular tokens, and then going through all that. Like I think it would be cool if something happened and you got something and you got a high five from Merlin. Maybe it'll be like leveling up where you get 1 gem and 1,500 magic, right?
Yeah, it reminds me, a lot of games have a lot, and for different things. You've crafted 1,000 items, you've crafted 10,000 items, just like that you've done, like, like they said, that would be nice to have. Some kind of achievement.
Yeah.
You know how Game Center has, like, sometimes those have achievements. Some games just have it built in and you kind of get gems or whatever the currency is for that game. Just something to acknowledge those kind of long feats.
I think an achievement like board or something would be fantastic. And I think when you're looking to give players motivation to continue playing and keep playing, achievement boards are ways to do that, because you have easy achievements for people to collect, but then you have hard ones,
Yeah.
and those hard ones will keep the veteran players going at it.
Yeah.
So it's a way to keep interest going when interest can start to wane. So, great feature reports. If you'd like to see something implemented, please write in using any of our various social media platforms and let us know. Your idea could be on next week's show. So now we're going to go around the community. We have one question. I need to get with Tom Wright, our official Around the Kingdom's official concept designer. Need to get with him and figure out another concept that we'd like to have and highlight on the board. If anyone has any suggestions for a concept design that you'd like Tom Wright to make, post that in our Facebook group. He is in there. Go ahead and if you have an idea for a concept that you'd like highlighted on the show, go ahead, bring it to his attention, tag him, and maybe that will be featured on next week's show. He does awesome stuff. If you haven't listened to our show before, or if you missed them, make sure you go check them out. He has posted them. In the Disney Magical Kingdoms Champions group is where he posts them after the show. All right, one question from Hayden. He says, with Disney Plus due to launch later this year in the USA, and having announced a selection of original shows and movies, do you think that any of the characters from these new originals will be added to the game? What do you think?
My first thought is like, no, because we haven't even got like, what is it, Princess Sophia, and isn't she like a Disney Junior princess? But unless I could see maybe if Disney is really trying to push Disney Plus and advertise it, maybe we could see some kind of cross promotion, but I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to see it too soon because there's still a lot of classics and a lot of other requests that people would like to see of just, Disney movies and things that haven't made it to the game yet.
Yeah, no, I think that there's still so much Disney out there that will keep us going for a long time with events. I think it would be cool though to like throw in some Disney Junior stuff. Like I think, they had that whole like question about like, do you play with your kids? How old are your kids? They had that survey a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And let me I have to take a note for something I want to write down here. But I think it would be cool to see like Sophia the First and Doc McStuffins and some of those characters, like even like just like a permanent content maybe event where some of the Disney Junior characters come in, like Elena of Avalor.
Yeah.
I know all these shows because my daughter loves them. So it'd be cool to have them in the kingdom. I don't think that like I'd want to do a whole Sophia the First event, but I think it would be cool to bring like, maybe like the highlights of the Disney Junior thing, Fancy Nancy, bring them into the kingdom and have them, have an event together. That would be fun. I don't really know, Hayden, what those original new shows are. Could I expect to see them in the kingdom at some point? Maybe. It depends how popular they get. And, how big. But I don't know. It's a good question. But there's so many Disney movies. It's hard. There's so much coming out. Yeah. So I don't know. All right. So that's the only question we got this week. If you have any questions, you can always write to any of our various social media platforms. All the links to them will be in the show notes. All right. One other thing that I want to mention is that there was an in-game panel that they wanted you to join. If you've seen it, it was called Brainloft, where they want you to join a little panel to talk about different things. Basically, it's like different surveys and questionnaires about how you play mobile games, who you play them with. They call it Brainloft. It's Gameloft's survey site. I got a pop-up in-game to join it, so of course I joined it. And when you fill out these surveys and stuff, you can win in-game items. So go ahead and sign up because it helps Gameloft make the game better for everyone, and you can win some free stuff. And who doesn't like free stuff, right? I'd love some free Radiant chests that give me nothing. All right. Moving on. I'm going to start wrapping up things here. Other things that were happening in the kingdom this week. Well, as you know, the Snow White Legendary chests are available for the duration of the Moana event for the usual price of 60 gems each, or $9.99 for a 6-pack. The bigger event currency bundle is available. It is 80 gems and 2,500 EC for $3.99 US. And the Earth Day stand is available in the shop for 60 gems. It is super cool. I definitely suggest you check that out and get it. It's a really cute hat. So that became available for Earth Day. It will probably be going away soon. Again, it says limited time content, so I'd grab it before you regret it. Okay, so we have one new 5-star review and one new 5-star rating. And that review is coming from Australia. Yes, I finally got the monthly reviews in from the international community, and so I'm really glad that I can share these now. So this is from Andy Rogers 1234 from Australia, the Down Under, and he says, "Around the Kingdom podcast, DMK is the title." It says, "This is such a great show, and I myself love watching it from week to week. He provides helpful and great tips which help many players. I myself have been playing since the Mayor Tower Challenge and enjoy his content given out. He has a great community on many different platforms and a great range of guests on the show, which provide great tips and tricks for the new players. I certainly suggest you listen to this podcast because of its excellent way of helping the community of this great game." Well, thank you so much, Andy Rogers 1234. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Shout out time. All right. I'm going to give a big shout out this week to Allison. Allison, thank you so much for putting up with all of my 3-minute chats, and then I have to run somewhere, and then another 3-minute chat, and then I have to run somewhere. It's been an interesting week, but you always are there to chat some Disney Magic Kingdoms. And because you've agreed to be my co-host next week, which we'll talk about in a minute. So a big shout out to Allison. Geeky Chick, any shout outs for you?
I'll give a shout out to Speedy in the chat. He's been chatting it up with us live, and everyone else in the chat too.
Yes, that's a good point. Speedy, I would give a big shout out to all the chats. Speedy, IDK, Braden, Brantley, Daniel, who else has been in here? Aliso, Noah Tube, who's a new subscriber. Thank you to all of you for making this, an awesome event. I like going live. So it's fun. All right, next week's show. Allison comes back, a moderator of our group. She comes back to the Facebook group to join me as we dive deeper into the Moana event. So I'm excited to have her on. Next week's show will be my last show for a week. I will be taking a week off as I go down to Disney. I will not be doing a podcast from there, but obviously I will be doing plenty of social media posting and all sorts of stuff. So I will not be disappearing, but there will be no show. A shout out to AMM Tracker Nardo. Or Sharknado, which I'm just going to call you from now on. Okay. I don't know why, but you're just Sharknado now. If you want to follow us, be more involved in the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and the other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. Even if you just want to say hi, go ahead and write me. We're now on YouTube. If you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, head on over and subscribe to our channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. And sometimes we actually go live, like tonight, so you can watch us as we do the show. The link to our channel will be in the show notes. If you want to help support the show, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they could enjoy the show too. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of each episode. Also, please spread the word. If you're in any groups, whether it's Facebook groups or Discords or anything about Disney Magic Kingdoms, let them know about the show. That's a great way to help support us as well. Listening to the show is all we could really ask for, but if you do want to help us support us in another way, we really need your help. Please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. We're halfway towards our first goal to really help the production of the show. And it's a really great way to show your support for about $1 an episode. That's like a cup of coffee a month. All Patreons will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. Again, it's patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks again for joining me this week. I am Stevesquirrel for myself and AGeekyChick. We hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, everyone.
All right, the recording is done, but we are still live on YouTube. So we'll just stick around for just another couple minutes. I am exhausted. I'm like falling asleep here. Look at my eyes. They're like half asleep, and I'm looking at myself. So if anyone has they want to any questions or anything you want to talk about or anything else, let me know. We're AGeekyChick, obviously. If there's anything you want to chat about real quick. Let's see. I changed my name, IDK Megan. I don't know, Megan. Hi. Thanks, Daniel. AMM cannot wait for Allison's second appearance. Yeah, me too. Speedy Ultra says you should post a short 5-minute vlog from actual Disney. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll go live. I'll do a YouTube live in Disney.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I could do that. Don't hold me to it. No promises. So,
yeah, you're going to be busy with family.
And you don't want me going, like, I have to sneak away from my wife. You don't want me doing a live vlog in the bathroom. That is definitely not something you want.
No. I might get one more Kakamura before I go to bed.
Oh, nice.
That'll be good. That'll put me at.
Speedy Ultra wants to know, how do we get to be a guest on the show? That's a good question. I would say be a big part of the community. That is how you get to be a guest on the show. The people that I choose are obviously content creators and people that spend a lot of time in our Facebook community, whether it's on Twitter or our Facebook page or our groups. People that I really feel are vested are people that I ask. It turns out that the two of them happen to have been Patreons. That you don't have to be a Patreon, obviously, to get a spot on the show. That was actually not even intentional. But just be a part of the community. I try to, we talked about this a while ago. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting community members on the show, different ones regularly. Because people were saying they don't always want to see content creators, but we do love them, but we like to see just people from the community as well. So just keep at it and, be a part of the community and we'll talk about it. You don't have to be a YouTuber or a Twitcher. Just be part of the community. Join our Facebook group. Okay, can I ask AGeekyChick if she knows when she's getting another video out? My YouTube has been boring. AGeekyChick, when are you putting out some new content?
I'll get one out tomorrow. I had one. I recorded them this week, but I told you about my headache, so I just didn't get a chance to edit them. Irrelevant. So I'll just record a new one, maybe like how to prepare for Pua.
All right. What else? Tracker Nardo says we could have all the princess in the game by August if they keep the princess trend going. That's good. Daniel says, do you think Aladdin will be the next tower challenge since the movie comes out next week?
Is that next week?
No, it's not next week. It's the May 24th. It's a month from now. Maybe it meant next month.
Because I'm like, I'm already gonna see Endgame this week.
Yeah.
Movies like
No,
turn
next
me up.
month. Next month. Yes, I think Aladdin will be the next Tower Challenge. Everyone's saying Sultan will be in there. Um, I think so.
Oh, Sultan? He's so cute.
Yeah. Going with the whole moms and dads theme. That's what Daniel was saying. So,
Yeah.
Allison says Mother Gothel is leveling to 10 right now. Can you believe it? That is awesome. Way to clear out a legendary item from your chests. That's about all that happens when Mother Gothel gets to 10 is that it's one less legendary item that you have to worry about because she's just about as used. She should ride on Maximus because she's just about as. No, I guess she gets more stuff than Maximus. Never mind. She's pretty terrible now. All right. All right, cool. Well, at this point,
It's okay, Daniel.
I'm going to end the stream here. I'm exhausted. I need to get the show up on podcast form, and I need to go to bed because I am going to fall asleep at my chair if I don't. Thank you again to everyone here for being part of this community and all of the different communities we have. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for being a part of AGeekyChick's community. Thank you for everyone from her community who stopped by. We're so happy to have you here. Geeky's been my guest since episode 3. The first episode I had a guest.
I know. I was like, I begged him, please.
So she's always my staple companion here, and I'm glad to have her. But anyway, good night, guys, and girls, and gals, and people, whatever's the politically correct way to say it. And we will see you soon. Good night.